Time now for our focus report. Endless waiting, harsh living conditions and dreadful weather. That's the situation for asylum seekers stuck now on Greek islands, saying they're actually finding it increasingly difficult to stay sane. A number of them have developed mental problems, and our reporters have followed a team from Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, on the island of Samos as they try to help people deal with those problems. François Vibourg reports.
It's 1 a.m. at the entrance of the Samos island camp, the moment they've all been waiting for, their transfer to the mainland. These 28 refugees, mostly Syrians, are finally leaving the camp, but until the very last moment, they fear having to remain on this island, which they curse. On their way to the port, their complaints remain cautious. Then words start to come a little easier.
I'm mentally tired. When they told me I could be transferred, I said, yes, I'll go anywhere.
The excitement reaches its peak as they see the boat. Some have waited months, the lucky ones just a few weeks. Their only way out is finally here.
I'm so happy. Thank God I'm leaving this island.
One last turn before leaving the port, one last look at the pallid lights of the camp. On the horizon, about a kilometre away, is the Turkish coastline. The Greek island of Samos symbolized the European dream for these migrants, but it's become their nightmare. Barely arrived, they find themselves in the middle of this hotspot created by the EU. The camp has all the marks of a prison. The only difference is migrants are free to leave. But on an island, where would they go? Fearing reprisals, this Syrian spoke with us on condition of anonymity.
Not only the camp is a prison, all the island is a prison because we cannot move. We cannot do anything.
A consequence of the deal struck between the EU and Turkey, transit centres have become detention centres. Asylum applications should be processed within 25 days, but lack of resources means they never are. The camp has become overcrowded. Set up to house 700 people, there are now 2,000 migrants living here. We can't film inside, but our contact obtained these images.
When it rains, the water gets everywhere. In the tents, the water even gets into the containers. This is the biggest container in the camp. Over 50 people live here.
The conditions are miserable, yet 500 children live here.
There are too many kids inside. No one cares about them, unfortunately.
This situation is responsible for the deterioration of the migrants' mental health. On the island of Samos, 95% of them have developed mental issues, according to Doctors Without Borders. To try to remedy this, a year ago they opened a mental health centre, but the first step is convincing patients to come.
In their culture, it's kind of social taboo to be noted as someone who sees the psychology to be known as crazy or anything.
A couple minutes to reassure them, and to detect any mental health issues, lack of sleep, stress, incontinence. And then take them to the mental health clinic downtown. These migrants wish to remain anonymous as they wait for their appointment. Behind this door, a sensitive conversation that will remain confidential. In this room, the psychologist discovers the extent of their trauma.
This person that I can remember right now, he was not able to sleep for about a week, for more than 5 minutes.
500 migrants have been treated since the center opened, but few will speak about it. This couple, persecuted by the Taliban, fled Afghanistan. For 6 months, they've been living in a container on the island.
Sometimes when my children want to play, I just don't have the energy. My mood is very unstable and I feel the need to leave the room, to not be around them anymore.
His wife has been coming here for the past 3 months. She has anxiety and already fainted 3 times because of stress.
The situation is very difficult. Most nights I can't sleep because I'm afraid that our second asylum application will be rejected, and all I want is to get out of this place. Given the situation we're in now, I think anybody in our position would have mental problems.
For some, just talking is not enough. They need medication. But to prescribe drugs, there's only one psychiatrist in Samos for all the migrants as well as the 30,000 Greek locals.
My work is to give them some medication, antidepressant or tranquilizers, some medication that might help them The bad thing is that these people reach a psychiatrist after 5 or 6 months. If there was another psychiatrist here, that would be to the better.
Once a week, he leaves his office.
Sit down, please.
And volunteers at the hospital. Only 10 minutes with each patient, barely enough time to sign a prescription. But that won't help this Iraqi who's been in Samos for 3 months.
I don't want a prescription for medication. I want to be done with this place. This place has made me very tired, and it has no benefit for me.
The only true remedy to their growing problems would be leaving Samos, and the UN Refugee Agency realizes this. In 4 months, 2,500 new migrants have arrived in this already crowded camp. Meanwhile, less than 2,000 have been transferred out to the mainland.
Last night it was raining heavily. Water seeped inside our tent. All of us. It's driving all of us mad.
And with rain turning to snow, winter isn't likely to bring them any peace of mind.